pulled my gun out and I yelled at him. It's like, let me see your hands, let me see your hands.
As the psychopaths in Washington's District of Criminals continue to distract us with their impeachment proceedings in the center ring of the big top, as war looms ever closer in Iran, while we prod the commoners there with the banker-initiated maximum pressure campaign, as the Democrats literally lose their minds by calling for gun confiscations, the eradication of student loan debt, promises of universal health care, $1,000 a month welfare checks to everybody over the age of 18, and other tyranny-infused power grabs, something very rare happened yesterday, and people don't realize just how rare it is. A jury unanimously found a cop guilty of murder. Not manslaughter, murder. With all the criminal activity carried out by the men and women in blue every single day as they act as general street thugs and revenue generators for the state and local police forces, that's a very rare occurrence. This woman is a murderer. She shot and killed an unarmed, innocent man in his own house while he was watching TV and enjoying a bowl of ice cream. It doesn't matter if she says she thought it was her apartment and that she thought Botham Jean was an intruder. What matters is that she meant to kill him. He's dead, and now she's allowed to live. Before I continue with this video, if you want to support this channel, the best thing you can do is like and share this video with everybody you know. It's the only way I can beat the YouTube censorship and suppression algorithms. Videos like this are quickly delisted and deranked. And of course, you can still support through Patreon, PayPal, Bitcoin, and Subscribestar in the links below, or grab a kick-ass shirt, hoodie, or mug from the store, but liking and sharing helps out a lot. So Amber Guyger was found guilty of murder yesterday, and about an hour ago, she was sentenced to just 10 years in jail. Now, up to this point, anytime you've seen Amber, you haven't seen her in handcuffs. You haven't seen her treated like other convicted murderers are treated. And you won't see that because wherever she goes, in whatever prison system she finds herself in, she'll always be taken care of. Why? Because she's part of the family of the thin blue line. We've already seen her treated differently than other criminals, and there's no reason to doubt that that gentle treatment won't continue. And before I proceed with these news clips, I just want to ask a couple questions. What if Botham Jean pulled out a firearm and, in self-defense, ended armed intruder Amber Guyger's life? How do you think that would have gone down? And I don't care what color Botham Jean is. The bottom line is that even with the right guilty verdict, there's still no justice with regard to costumed human beings who act as though they're above even their own law. And what about this guy, Schaefer Cox? He committed absolutely no crime. He didn't steal anybody's property, he made no threats, he didn't harm anybody, and yet he's been sitting in a prison cell for 8 years serving a 28-year sentence. And he's not locked up in just any prison, he's in a CMU, a communications management unit in Terre Haute, Indiana. A CMU is a prison reserved for the most hardened criminals. Why is Schaefer Cox in there? Oh, for the crime of exposing government corruption in the state of Alaska. On September 11, 2012, this guy, Jeffrey Winehouse, makes a trip to a remote gas station to arrange a meeting with law enforcement to have his computers and printing equipment returned to him, which were stolen by the cops for no good reason. 13 seconds after Winehouse steps out of his car, he's shot 4 times in the head and chest. He had a weapon holstered on his left side, but he never drew it. Winehouse miraculously survived and is now wrongly serving a 30-year prison sentence for assault on a law enforcement officer. The officer who shot him, Sergeant Henry James Folsom of the Missouri State Highway Patrol, testified in court that Winehouse pulled his gun, therefore he had to shoot him because he feared for his life. There was overwhelming evidence at the time of the trial to prove beyond a shadow of any doubt that Winehouse was innocent. But neither his attorneys or the prosecutor entered that evidence into the trial. The entire incident at the gas station was even captured on a secret spy watch. He was denied due process and adequate counsel and was falsely convicted. What was his crime? Exposing government corruption, just like Schaefer Cox. But murderer Amber Guyger just gets 10 years, almost guaranteed special treatment, and you can bet she'll appeal and get an early release with probation. And guys, this is not about racism. This is about statism. Cops who are statists are granted special rights and privileges the rest of us just don't have. We see it every single day. To deny this special treatment exists is to deny the truth. Now here's the reaction to Guyger's sentencing in Dallas.
Work for us. We will never receive the equal justice that we deserve. And all of us are here. We're here today because we want to make changes. 10 years is not enough. Both in John's life matter. And when there is no justice, it should never be any peace. It should never be.
It ain't no peace. It will never be peace.
We stand here as a community outraged because we have saw many times in this courtroom people who take lives, people who do many things. But when it comes to a black person, getting justice in this system, this is what we see continuously.
Let me just remind you guys, this is not about black versus white. This is not a race thing. This is a power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely thing. Yeah, Eric Garner, Philando Castile, and Botham Jean were black. But Schaefer Cox, Kelly Thomas, Daniel Shaver, James Boyd, and Jeffrey Winehouse were not. This is about cops getting away with murder in broad daylight, on camera, and walking away free and clear, and in many cases, they even get to keep their jobs. People are trying to say this Botham Jean Amber Guyger thing is a racist deal. It's not. A black judge handed down this 10-year sentence. How about Ronald Hammond? He appeared in a Baltimore courtroom on a charge of possessing 5.9 grams of marijuana, and he was given a 20-year prison sentence where taxpayers are going to pay around $60,000 a year to feed, clothe, and shelter this guy for just a couple bucks worth of weed.
10 years, many people say, oh yeah, we haven't saw this before, different things of that nature. But is 10 years enough for a life being taken?
No.
Is it 10 years? Is 10 years enough for what this family has to fill in the gap the rest of their lives? Botham was a uncle, a son, a brother. He was many things to many people. All I can say is that I will limit my words, and you guys will see my words in every full force tonight at 6:30 on the courthouse steps.
6:30.
Because this is what we have to break down.
6:30.
We have to continue to make sure, and we just send our prayers out to this John family, for we know that this hurt, our hurt as a community, is for this family, because we know that this family is really hurt. Really hurt. Why give them murder conviction and give them 10 years? That's just a slap in the face of injustice. And at the end of the day, hey, we gotta organize. So I asked all of Dallas to come join us at 6:30 at the Frank Riley courthouse steps.
This isn't a white versus black thing. This is a government versus the people thing. And we need to get that straight. This is the testimony of Botham's brother, Brant.
I can speak for myself. I forgive you. And I know if you go to God and ask Him, He will forgive you. And I don't think anyone could say it. Again, I'm speaking for myself, not even bad for my family. But I love you just like anyone else. And I'm not gonna say I hope you rot and die just like my brother did, but I personally want the best for you. And I wasn't gonna ever say this in front of my family or anyone, but I don't even want you to go to jail. I want the best for you. Because I know that's exactly what both of them would want you to do. And the best would be give your life to Christ. I'm not gonna say anything else. I think giving your life to Christ would be the best thing that both of them would want you to do. Again, I love you as a person. And I don't wish anything bad on you. I don't know if this is possible, but can I give her a hug, please? Please?
Yes.
Unfortunately, the same compassion and forgiveness isn't extended when the shoe's on the other foot. It's impossible to calculate just how many lives have been ruined or how many murders have been committed by law enforcers who turn their minds off and inflict evil on the masses, white, black, or Hispanic, it doesn't matter, in the name of obeying the arbitrary edicts of political parasites. And now, something else you've never seen before. The judge stepping down from her bench, approaching the convicted murderer with the Bible and giving her a hug. Even the commentators remark about how extraordinary this interaction is.
That act is truly, again, something I think we could all learn from.
It was a healing moment.
I hope it has that effect. I really do. Because I think he embraced the idea and the concept.
Well, now the judge is talking to Amber. Oh my God, the judge is down there talking to Amber. I just don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this. What do you think's happening right now?
I have no idea, quite honestly. I've never seen anything like this.
We've lost sound. Okay, so this is extraordinary. I feel like we're watching something that I've never seen before. I mean, this moment, the hug between Amber Guyger and Botham Jean's brother, and now the judge. It sounded like maybe she was reading a Bible scripture or witnessing somehow. I mean, it's just oh my God, now the judge is hugging Amber Guyger. Okay, this is, I'm starting to lose it again.
Well,
Judge.
and I think that the emotional aspects of this case, and again, without question, it's a tragedy all the way around. The emotional aspects of his case have led to the judge to do something that's very unusual, to have direct attempts to communicate with the family of the victim and the defendant herself on the record. And what I can only suppose is an attempt to try to start some healing for these people. It certainly is difficult, it certainly is extraordinary, it certainly is unusual. It is something that I don't know that I've ever seen before in a trial, this kind of direct communication.
And by the way,
person to person.
my Facebook commenters are saying that the judge gave Amber Guyger a Bible.
And again, I think this is her attempt to try to let there begin some healing.
I'm really having a hard time holding it together here because it's something.
There's a lot of powerful emotion involved in the case for sure. And anytime you see somebody willing to go above and beyond the easy anger, retribution, emotional reaction, that's inspiring.
But hey, Amber's a former employee of the state. This is just a foreshadowing of the partial treatment she's going to be getting. Ask yourself, when was the last time you saw a judge try to comfort, console, and hug a murderer? I've never seen that. So there you have it. Convicted murderer Amber Guyger sentenced to 10 years. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the Google Thought Police in the comments section below. Before you go, check out our new shirt designs in the shirt store. Here's the Beta Hates America design. Hell no, you're not taking my AR-15. And nobody needs an AR-15. Well, nobody needs a whiny little bitch either. And yet, here you are. And against all enemies, Democrat and Republican. There are over 90 other kick-ass designs in the store and the links in the description. Your purchase supports the message of freedom on this channel. If you get something out of this content, help me beat YouTube's censorship algorithms by liking and sharing this video. And while you're here, why not watch a couple more of my videos? Until next time, stand firm, stay vigilant, and for the sake of all that is right and good, stop giving your rights away to tyrannical psychopaths who want to destroy this country.